Hi, and welcome to Significant. Significant presented by Alias Cann. Hi, I'm Nick. I'm joined by Francesca today.
Hi, everyone.
And this is really, it's an introduction, but it's also a reintroduction to a series that started a few years back through Alias Cann that they entitled Significant. And we wanted to have Francesca in here today to help me kind of set the tone for what you can expect for the year. So Francesca, tell us what Significant is, where it came from, what's the origin story of Significant?
Significant came up when we first formed Alias Cann. So when Mike and I started the company, one of the core guiding principles that we had was that we were not going to be here just to take up space and take money from this industry. We wanted to give more than just our services. And so we looked at what are the fights that we can fight, the good fights that we can fight in the industry and in cannabis culture in general. And it seemed to us that the biggest thing in the way of people really understanding cannabis and the potential that it holds is the stigma that's associated with cannabis. So Significant came about as a way initially on social media, and then of course it went to our website for a while, to tell the stories of people that use cannabis or that have cannabis play a significant part of bettering their lives. So by doing that, you can humanize it, you can bust stereotypes, you can eliminate myths, you can really transcend and kind of build this bridge between the non-cannabis users and maybe what they've been told is true or what they believe is true that isn't, and the people that use cannabis and why they use it. So if we have these stories to connect us, then we can destigmatize cannabis. That's sort of the effort behind Significant. That's why we started it.
Well, we've talked about this before, you and I over on Infused, our other endeavor, our other podcasts, like, rate, review, subscribe, Infused, if you could.
Please.
But we've talked about the idea of the new normal, trying to normalize cannabis. It's not a problem for people like you and me, but we do know that we're fighting years of a systemic campaign against this tiny little plant. Who doesn't love this little plant? We love what cannabis has done for us, for like-minded people, for the cannabis community. And right now, I mean, we love what it's doing for our economy and for certain cities and certain populations. We know we have room to grow, but there's a huge, you said it, we can't be in this space without committing ourselves to the most, noble of all efforts is removing the stigma from cannabis. So the best way to do that is always, I mean, it's what I'm into, it's what you're into. It's the telling of stories. And I think that what people can expect out of our Significant podcast on a monthly basis is some damn good stories from different corners of the cannabis community all over. That's really what we do. I look at this stigmatized, it's almost like a fortress. And it seems like every story that we can tell, every story about this man served 2 tours in Iraq, he came back, he was on 8 different prescriptions. We're going to have people like this on that nothing helped. It was turning this person into a shadow of who he was or who she was. Then cannabis came to the picture, medical cannabis. And all of a sudden we see that this plant, it's not what we were told in the grainy film strips of the 1980s that told us to just say no, or the ad campaigns on television.
Or the terrible classroom assemblies by Dare and all of that.
Yeah, or that stupid McGruff dog. Well, I guess he wasn't gonna. It was just crime.
It was just crime
okay.
in general.
Yeah. Okay, all right. But it seems like the more stories that we can tell, and the more stories we can share, it's like we're taking a brick out of that wall that's surrounding cannabis, that stigma, if you will. So that's what we really hope to do here on a monthly basis. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's about breaking down the assumptions that people show up with when it comes to cannabis. So whatever those are that you think is inhibitive or prohibitive. It's not true. Cannabis, it should be about safe access. It should be about responsible usage. It should be about scientific knowledge, because cannabis is a healing compound. Ultimately, when it comes down to that, it's a plant that heals us. And cannabis is more than an industry. It is a cause. So Significantt, and the storytelling that we do when we tell the stories, like you mentioned, everything from that severe to something broader about what it does for a state, for an industry, for a business, what it does for an individual, what it does to help us relax and get outside of ourselves. All of those things are showing us how significant cannabis is to our culture and to our lives. So that's what we're here to do, is to share those stories. And sometimes it'll be us sharing the stories. We hope to have people on to share their stories, that personally, that first person. And that should open minds, because if you see real people, real stories, and real change, it becomes undeniable. It's like the Humans of New York, that's the dream. That's the aspiration of Significantt on a cannabis level.
It's talking to people. It's an old Steinbeck quote. Try to understand that other person. If you understand that person, chances are you're going to love them. And chances are it's never going to lead to hate. Understand that person. So understand this thing. Cannabis is becoming more and more a part of our daily lives. Cannabis is essential. So let's learn a little bit about the plant, about how it's helped people that we know, people we don't know, and how it's helping communities where we live and where we don't live. It was a campaign that you guys put together, if the people that are viewing, looking at Significantt. I want to make this plea. This is not something that is just internal. We want you to be part of it. So we want our audience to be part. Do you want to be part of Significantt? Do you have a story? Do you have something that could help someone else along the way on their journey about how cannabis has helped you? Get in touch with us. Please hit our website. Contact us. Go to aliascann.com. Contact us. We have a form there to contact us. If you don't want to do that, email us, info@aliascann.com, and
or just slide into our DMs on social. Follow us on social.
With the subject matter Significantt, and that is spelled with 2 N's for can. And let us know what you want to talk about. We're going to get in touch with you and see what we can do. And you might really, really, mesh well with what we have planned for the new year. So please get in touch with us. We'd love you to be part of Significantt, and we can't wait to share some stories and get to work, continue our work to end the stigma. So
yeah, there's nothing more important than all of us coming together for a like-minded cause that is going to be for the better of everyone. So sharing those stories is an act of advocacy, and
absolutely,
we would be honored to be the platform that you share those stories on.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. So, Francesca, with that, wrapping up for us today, this is just a quick preview for us to say hello and welcome, and we hope you join us on Significantt in the year 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.